Welcome back to Millennial Thoughts with your girl Alicia. So the next clip is a raw, uncut, filter episode with my friends. And I didn't edit it, but we were talking about millennial in the workplace. And so just listen. I want to hear your thoughts. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Millennial Thoughts Pod or on Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to the podcast or leave a review right there. If you like these conversations, this was unplanned. We just talked about it. A recap of my weekend is I was in Louisville, which I'm usually there sometimes, and I met up with my friends, and then we just started chatting. And so this is what this podcast is all about. It's just like millennial thoughts, just trying to figure out what we want to do, talking about how society affects us and stuff like that. So I definitely hope you enjoy the conversation, and let me know your thoughts. It's like, okay, go to school. Okay, you're going to get a job with anything. Yeah, go ahead and get your bachelor's in PSDY. It don't matter. Like, it do matter. At the end of the day, it matters what you get your bachelor's degree in if you're going to get that master's degree. But they're just like, oh, you like me. Like, oh, okay, I like liberal arts. I decided not to go to law school no more. But they're like, oh, you can get this and you can still do this. Can I? Because I don't even have the experience. I have 6 years of education, no experience, and everybody's like, oh, but we prefer you to have experience. But even if you prefer to have experience, you give me $15.
My teacher mentioned that when we were, I don't know if you were in this course, she said that our senior year, she's like, you all can make a decision. Rebecca Bloomer, she said you all can decide to get a social work degree, a master's in social work degree. She said that's going to be really great for you all to make more money and be able to move up within your field. But she said on the other hand, those of you all who do go straight into the workforce, you all will have the experience, but you'll be lacking the education to move up. So it's like a double-edged sword. And I was like, that's so fucked up.
Unless you work for the government.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do that. Luckily for me, I went into St. Vincent Hall while I was still a practicum student, and as soon as I got my degree, which I technically didn't get, but I still graduated and walked, they increased my pay.
And that's another thing too. Like, a lot of programs don't require practicums or even internships. So when I'm thinking, it's like, because you don't want to do free work. I wasn't required to do an internship till like my last thing when I switched, and so it kind of helps so you know like what you don't want to do, what you want to do. But it's like you only get a semester of experience, so you really don't even know. But I would have did more internships because I'm just like, I needed the experience, so I have this education, but I don't have the experience, or even networking outside of the college, because like you can network with inside college, but the community, it doesn't really do anything. And so I'm sitting here like, okay, I have this education, okay, I can go get this degree, because I don't even know what I can get, what type of job I can get if I just have a bachelor's degree, because I don't have no experience. So then it's like, okay, well, go get this, then you can get here. And then it's like, then you got to do all these interviews, all these applications, and they don't even be paying nothing for you. Still in debt, and what you're making half of what you can't even pay. You can't even get up nowhere. So I just like think it's really crazy about the job market.
It's annoying. It's pretty annoying. It is.
And how it goes. So I don't know. I'm just like, this is so ridiculous and crazy. And I was like, this needs something I need to talk about, because like the workplace. Oh, I seen it on Twitter. Oh, a PhD. If you have like a PhD, they were starting out with like $51,000. A PhD, that should be a master's degree, $50,000. And then it's like, it's either or you have education or you don't have experience. And that's why I'm not gonna get no doctor. They talking about you gonna get a doctorate degree. Are you gonna pay for my doctorate degree? Oh, okay. Then be quiet. People are like, oh, what you doing? Chilling.
I think you can still find a way to make that money without the PhD, without the extra debt. It can be done, and we need to do better at promoting trades as well. Like,
yeah, I think they're going back to promoting trades.
And now we don't have a lot of people who are doing trades. I think that when we came out of high school, our high schools that we went to should have done better at promoting trades. Like, that would have helped more people stay off the streets. And like letting people know you're not a failure if you don't go to college. You can still do better than a 9-to-5 or fast food restaurant. But that's my soapbox for the day, because
I know that my GM that works at Sonic makes more money than but all of them do. So
really,
hell yeah, because she's part owner. Oh.
So she part owns it, and she's the general manager of the store.
That is smart. That's another thing. I want to work on investing my money. I seen a post on Facebook. This dude makes $40,000 a week. He said when he was making $2,000 a month, he was investing his money. He bought property and is also renting them out too. I mean, real estate is a gem, but I'm not passionate about it, nor do I have the time to do it. But if I had the education, I would definitely invest.
Yeah, that's why.
in real estate.
Yeah, I would do real estate too, but it is also kind of hard to get up. I've been like talking to people about real estate. They're like the easiest way is like if you have your house or something like that, if you have a room, even if you get into Airbnb and stuff like that, it's not like it's like you're not passionate about it, but you can still make so much money in it if you just learn how to do things. Because there's like wholesaling, flipping, and all that stuff, or whatever, which I didn't even know. Which I didn't even know like it was even all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot now, but I don't have the time to do that. But I wish I could do that.
Oh, I'm about to make the time to do real estate.
Yeah,
That's
I'm about to learn.
Doing it because I don't have like I've always wanted to like own. Honestly, a long time ago, what I wanted to do is like to run the housing authority in Bowling Green. So I've always wanted to be like a man, but on the service part, not the actually buying the
and you could very much so do that.
Dueling out the contracts and stuff. But that's why I'm glad that JD wants to do some stuff like that. Because then I can.
And he could teach you.
No, I don't want him to teach me. But like I could still like dibble and dabble in whatever it is that he's doing without having the real like commitment to it. Like I could see how it runs through watching what he does, but not like
you don't have to do.
And it costs to take real estate classes. It ain't free. You don't just go
it's not. It's
real estate.
and I just found.
You gotta pay like $500-$600.
Yeah, you gotta pay for that, and then I found out that even after you get that, you're not even a realtor. You're only a realtor after you pay the state and after you get connected to something. So it's literally like $2,000 to do it all together. So people can say they're real estate agents, but they're not really selling. They just have a little bit of knowledge and they're flipping, they're wholesaling, they're just doing stuff because you're just learning about it. You're not really selling it either.
Right.
So to sell it, you have to be a realtor, which you got to pay another basically $1,500 almost. And so that's what you don't know about. That's what I'm just learning about. So it's really like just learning about what I'm really about to get into is coding and trying to figure out how to code and websites and stuff like that.
They that for free at the Louisville Library. My stepdad do it.
They
There was
do.
A huge initiative. There was a huge initiative that started a while ago through the mayor's office or something. It was called Code Louisville. He was going through the program at the Louisville Public Library for fucking free. I was like, hey, that's smart. And now there's another program coming up since I just started at Metro Government, which I'm actually liking this job, and I see the
What do you do?
possibility to move up. I'm a financial coach. My job title is social service specialist. I keep fucking it up. But anyways.
I'm recording, y'all keep going.
Uh-huh.
Nothing. Just keep going.
I keep fucking up my job title. My job function is financial coach, but my title is like social service specialist or whatever. But anyways, they're actually maybe the service desk do. They're actually doing an initiative where they're I don't know who exactly is participating in the program, but there's programming where they're allowing people to do a coding program, and when you're done with it, they connect you to jobs. 4 people are in the current cohort. I don't know why it's so small, but I was like, that is so dope. And they're getting them coding jobs. That's another thing. Sitting at the table now and getting access to this information. Oh, I left it in my car. They gave us surveys to give out to the community to find out what services people need. It's in my car, but I was just thinking, some of these stuff that the government that the city is doing, I've never heard about these, like all these meetings that they say they have.
That's what I'm putting right there. Yeah, it is.
I'm just like, how come we don't know about this stuff? Like, who the hell found out about these meetings that y'all be having? All this money y'all fucking got? Like, how is
Nobody knows it. Yeah, you're not even up there. You don't even know what's going on.
How's the information being disseminated?
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
Because
it's going in those rooms and they're tell people about this, and the people that are in those rooms tell the people that they directly talk to.
The people in those rooms, they don't look like us. And the ones that are there that look like us, they're in housing and support. And the black women that are there, so I've only been there for 3 days, and they literally been staring at me. And I heard yesterday they was upset that no one ever introduced me to them. I I was like, so these black women in here, like, why y'all being so catty? Like, y'all staring at me. I'm the new girl. Nobody thought to introduce themselves to me.
Right. So
Yeah, I would introduce
y'all
first.
just on the other corner of the room,
especially to new people.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I was
you
like,
come in and you say, hey, what's your name?
I'm the new person.
Start.
And they were upset with my supervisor for my supervisor not bringing me to them. But my supervisor's like, I'm an introvert. I'm not going to go down there and take you to them, but you're new. And I was like, I think that they should come to me because they've been here longer.
How do you feel like how do y'all feel about working in the workspace as like millennials? If you're like, you're working with people who are older and stuff like that, how do you feel
it's a whole
about
trip.
that?
This is what I've been trying to like tell my job all the time is that you millennials, we come into the workforce in order to get our experience, but we don't come entry level and expect to be entry level for the rest of our lives. We are very like upward moving people. Even the most like, I'm a very like status quo, content kind of person, but even me, I don't want to be doing the same thing for the rest of my life. So I want to do something else. And you think, and also they like get confused. Because the way you could talk to the older generation as a boss is not the way you can talk to us. Like, we're not going to stay in a toxic work environment.
Yes,
we're not
that's why I don't stay at a job for more than a year and a half. If you're not serving me, I'm going to leave.
And that's what it is. It was crazy talking about
that.
that.
To my pockets, my like mental health, and my everything, then I feel like I'm worth in it. I'm about to go.
So fucking true.
Life is stressful enough, and especially in seeing what jobs people do. In like a social service job, you are literally dealing with everybody's problems all day long. I'm not gonna come in here and be in an argument with my supervisor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's lame. I'm not doing that.
If I'm unhappy,
I'm putting out fires every day for my job and then coming to work and dealing with a toxic work environment.
I'm not gonna stay if I'm not happy. I've only been here at this job, like orientation was 3 days, I was in the office for 3 days, so 5 days I guess you can say. And I'm already ready strategically placing myself so that I can move up. You have to do at least 6 trainings. All the trainings that I'm doing are all the managerial required trainings. Because I know when the opportunity presents itself, I'm out that bitch. They said, oh, I just said the B word. They said that I hate the B word.
But it's okay.
You are recording though. I just ruined your video. The plan is to, again, like I said, I'm strategically placing myself to take these trainings that are required for a manager or supervisor. So when the opportunity presents itself, that's me again making sure that I'm going to be qualified and they don't even have to worry. Like, I can show them that I already did complete the trainings, making sure I do well at my job as well and making connections within the network so that I can also set myself up in a position to move up. Because like Audrey said, we're not dealing with the status quo. Y'all think it's okay to work as an assistant for 20 plus years? No, bro.
Like, y'all good. But that's what I'm saying. And so in that sense, like, millennials are coming in here, but this is what I was talking about the other day. It's like they think that we have what's that word called? It's like entitlement. But at the end of the day, y'all told us to go to school, y'all told us to get a degree, and y'all want us to come in here and be receptionists for the rest of our life? No, that's not what we want to do. So we're coming in here and we're not staying. We're not staying in these same places, and it's like they're like millennials don't have any whatever that word is to not work ethic, like any it's like when you stay somewhere, they don't have commitment to their jobs and stuff like that. Like they're not staying at their jobs forever and ever. But at the end of the day, millennials, like, we're trying to, a lot of millennials are creatives and entrepreneurs. So honestly, they're trying to figure out how to get out the shift of working a 9 to 5 in general. And then, but my thing is, so how long are you going to stay somewhere if it's not feeding you? But it's like you have to pay bills. You have to still pay your, like, you still have to have a life. So it's like conflicted on, like, how long will I stay at this job? How long will I do this? Because it's going to affect my mental health. And the fact of, like, okay, I'm working at this job, but during my lunch breaks, I'm still looking for a new job. But it's just like, there's like a continuance of, like, they try to say millennials don't have this, millennials don't have that, but we're not saying that these jobs, like, are older generations, 50 and 40 years. But it's like, if you treat people right, then, like, you can do whatever. And so even when I had a job, I was going to my boss, I was telling her, like, I don't want to do this, I want to do this. You could talk, they were like, yeah, she talks rude to people, she ain't going to talk rude to Alicia Nunnally. Right. You're not going to do that. I'm going to have a conversation with you, you're going to do this. Y'all can act like this. I'm sorry, I have a master's degree, and I was like the most educated one in the whole thing, besides under my boss. You can talk to these 20-year-olds and 19-year-olds and stuff like that they don't have nothing going for themselves. I'm not saying that they don't, but
right, like you're talking to them.
Yeah, and like they gotta stay here, girl. You're not even paying a penny a dime. You're not gonna talk to me crazy. and act like you this, and that, and whatever. Like, no, you got me messed up. And so I just think like millennials in the workplace, and then even with like the job market and stuff like that, like I just don't feel like everything lines up in like how people are fed. Like millennials, you can live your best life, not live your best life, but like have this 9 to 5, you can make this much money if you have this degree, and then you come out with all these student loans, and then you're looking at jobs, and it does not equate to what people were telling you the last 5 and 4 years that you've been in college. And so I'm just like, well, where do we go next? Like, how do we tell people, how do we educate? Like, I'm an educator, whatever, I got my master's education, but so like educating the next generation to help them to learn coding, to learn different things like that. Because
community resources. You need to meet them where they are so that you can spread the news. Catch them while they're freshmen, while they're in high school, they're middle schoolers. That's the best.
But I think it's a bigger picture.
Because like, I mean, I can go in and tell people. You can do the work
where you are, but that's not what's going to shift society.
Yeah.
I think there has to be a societal shift because society ain't caught up. Like, the workforce is still thinking that this is 1990s. The workforce is not caught up, like technology-wise, sure, but like actual like human decency-wise, they have not caught up to they have not caught up to us, and so.
And I guess it does depend on what.
Once these older generations start retiring, and they realize that like, oh, so now we only got young people in the workforce. Oh. So now we're going to lose our whole workforce if we don't change the way we look at.
If we don't respect them.
And then, and I think it's something as well, too. It depends on your field because, like, so I know, like, a lot of technology-based stuff like that, they do, they work from home. They can work from this, they can work from this. So some social jobs, you can't work from home. Oh, well, if you go, like, meet students.
Issue. That's what fires me sometimes about where I work is because I could very well do my job from home. Because if you think about it, what I do is documentation, I go do home visits. There's certain things I would need to be in the office for. I can take my computer home and do my work from home. Just that way.
Well, yeah, I guess I was talking about to the home visit.
Like I could do those things, but our job doesn't want to be flexible.
And so that's why I guess I was saying, I was like, maybe home businesses are like, that's what I was talking about, like not working from home. Yeah, but yes, you could do the administration stuff at home.
I can leave from my house.
And then, and that's why I don't understand now because they don't want to be flexible. But if you think about it, if you take away the building, you don't got to pay nothing. You can pay your employees more, and you don't have to worry about it. And guess what? You could we could meet on the computer. Hello, how are you? 10, 15 minutes. Because when you get like this stuff like that, they be trying to be in there hours and 2 hours. Like I gotta go. I gotta go to a home visit. Like that's what you gotta do. And so I think it does depend. But if people are flexible and like the job market isn't flexible because they don't want to get away from that traditional stuff. But at the end of the day, we understand we have to do a 9 to 5. Yes, we understand that we have to work and we have to have health insurance, and that's the big thing about health insurance. But it's like, I don't want to spend all my day at work if I don't have to spend all my day at work. I can go do my meetings, go see these people, and keep it moving. And so a lot of people stay at jobs because of the health insurance, and that's a whole nother topic about what it is. And so I was talking to Audrey. She's like, "What you doing here?" So I had job offers, right? One don't give no health insurance. The other one you'll get health insurance like after a year or something. There's no way. What am I doing with y'all if y'all ain't gonna give me no health insurance?
Mine actually starts March 1st, and my mom was shocked when I told her that I started this job Mondays, and Monday was the 10th, and they said it goes into effect March 1st, which I'm so thankful for because, like, we're about to be 25.
I still have my own insurance, but it's the fact of, like...
Yeah, but mine's just expired. Unsuspectedly, my insurance has ended, so it's a blessing in disguise, but no one... had I been in another predicament, like it would have sucked for me if I had to wait another year because another year, like I'm just about to be 26 and I'm really gonna be SOL.
You have to be 26
in 1 year. You know, we our parents' insurance. But thankfully, this insurance starts on March 1st, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take it. But that is something to think about is the effects of health insurance on us. And if we are planning ahead, as we are doing, as most of us do as millennials, you're also thinking about your retirement plan. Like, what benefits does this job offer to you outside of a pay rate? And is that salary or hourly? Because then we have to think if we're salaried, sometimes they're going to work us to the bone, and it may not be worth it at all. And PTO and vacation, like I didn't think about that. Like,
and sometimes we only get 5 days vacation. What? Yeah. I need to go back to school for the rest of my life because what is that?
And something that I've also dealt with as a millennial within the workforce is if you do decide
to pursue to further your education, are they going to be flexible enough in supporting you to do that during your workout?
And that's one reason why I just went in straight, like, 2 reasons I went straight to just get my master's education. First of all, because I didn't know if I was going to get a job because I didn't have no experience. But second of all, that, like, working full-time, going to school part-time and stuff like that, and some people aren't flexible, but my friend does have a job where it is flexible for her, but some people who, like, have to work in the office 9 to 5 are like, but even schools, like, it's crazy how, like, y'all have these classes from 10 to 12. 10 to 12, that's in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the workday.
Like, I was fortunate that I didn't have to work full-time and go to school, so it didn't bother me, but, like, 10 to 12, but then
It's from 9 to 12. My lab, 9 to 12, like, and
like, who does that?
It's hurting. It hurts.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was just giving it like.
It's crazy hours the rest of the week.
Yeah, I just like seen. Yeah, I was like in general or whatever. But even in nighttime, I don't know. I don't like 3-hour classes, point blank, period. But I guess you gotta do it how you do it. But like 6 to 9, I was going to classes from 6 to 9. Like, I don't even have that time. I don't even have that attention span.
Energy too at the end of the day, like you have to.
Yes, like going to class, going to school, and that's why I was just like, I gotta do this full time. I just gotta go full time and get done. And they talk about a school now. I would be darned to ever go back to school. Are y'all gonna pay my student loans back from everything else? Okay, then we ain't got nothing to talk about at the end of the day. I hope you really enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned next week for living with your parents. And also, I do have a question. I'm thinking about starting a Patreon. Let me know if you would support it. It would be visual and audio content of life as a millennial, and it will be a storyline. So if you would enjoy it, please let me know. Comment on the Instagram post or follow me on Twitter. I'm definitely excited for the new content that will be coming. So make sure you stay tuned and have a great week.